homework, iPods, PewDiePie, Tumblr, Smosh, and online games. Remember them? Hours of fun back when things seemed much simpler. We can't bring back all of them, but we can relive those memories. Welcome to another episode of Great Games You Haven't Played, the show where I talk about video games that you probably never played. I'm talking about games that weren't as popular when they were released, or those that were forgotten over the years. Today, we're bringing old online games back to life, and I'll also tell you about some great online games that you need to play. Onward with the video, and don't worry, no spoilers ahead. Alright, so if you don't know already, Adobe Flash, the software that made most online games playable in the browser, has been dead for almost 3 years now. There were other online software like Unity and Shockwave, but they weren't as popular as Flash. The reasons why it was discontinued was plenty. Lack of updates, annoying to use, and most importantly, security issues. So it's quite obvious why it died eventually, and along with it went the thousands of games and apps that use the technology. But luckily for us, there's a way to play them again and keep playing them for as long as we want. It's all possible thanks to BlueMaxima's FlashPoint, a non-profit web-based media preservation project, which uses open source software as part of a complete package to play all those old Flash games, along with most other forms of online games. All you need to do is go to their website by searching it up, click on the download page, and there you'll be presented with two options, Ultimate and Infinity. The difference between them is that the Ultimate version has a complete offline copy of all the media, whereas the Infinity version needs to download each individual media on demand before it's available to play. Just get the Infinity version, since you're never really going to play everything in the library, and it's also way small in size, like 1.3 terabytes smaller. Once you download it, you will have to extract it. Now, here's a small speed bump we'll have to get through. Because of the inclusion of old unsupported software like Flash, sometimes your antivirus might accidentally flag some of these files as a threat. In reality, it's not, and it's completely fine, since all of this stuff is self-contained within the software. You're not really installing this stuff onto your PC. All you have to do is just tell the antivirus to chill out. Just create a folder anywhere on your PC and then add that folder as an exclusion in your antivirus. This is how you can do that in Windows Defender. You just search it up, click on Virus and Threat Protection, then Manage Settings, and then scroll down into Exclusions. Then add Exclusion, then Folder. Then just select the folder you just created. And that's all. Then just extract the program into that folder by selecting this button. Don't worry, if you're skeptical of leaving this software on your PC, you can just select the folder and archive it into a zip or RAR file, and then delete the rest, and then you can unzip it when you want to play it. I have had this software for almost 2 years now, and I have absolutely no problem with it. So once you install it, you can browse the endless list of games in the library. Apparently there are almost 100,000 plus titles in there, along with some animations as well from the web. I haven't really checked them out much. There are playlists of games divided into categories, and you can just search for what you want to play. Each game has an info page with details and links to learn more about it. Once you click play, it will first download the files if you don't have it. This is only for the first time you'll play it on the Infinity version, and then it will just load up the game and you can immediately begin playing it. And once you find something you like, just make sure to add it to your favorites, so it's easy to find next time. The whole package is very light and is capable of running on very low powered hardware. And you can run it completely offline when you want to. So that's about all you need to know really. But what games should you play? Here are some of my personal favorites. On the very top, we have Zombotron. This is a trilogy of games about a traveler lost in an alien planet. They're all platformers and have a great soundtrack and art style. The story is pretty minimal on the first two games, but in the third one it has a much larger importance. It's super fun to play and very memorable. Next we have Cactus McCoy, another two platformers with a similar set of strengths as Zombotron. The story is there, but your main objective is to punch as many bad guys as you can see, with the ridiculous amount of weapons. Each level takes you to a completely unique environment and you'll have a ton of fun going through the bad guys. Another fun game, but it might feel a bit repetitive after a while. Now, my most beloved game is actually a game called Mystery of Mortlake Mansion. The Flash version is not the full version, but you can actually find it online for free. And it just recently got put on Steam. It's a game that has this aesthetic which is mystical, creepy, and really atmospheric. It has an awesome story about a person who gets trapped in this mansion and has to find a way to get out. Over the story there are many revelations and things are much more complex than it first seemed. The art style and the music really gets you into a mood and you are always trying to figure out what's going to happen next. The only downside to this game is that it's got a lot of those find the hidden object type of sections, which is really the only downside I have with it. But if you can look over it, this is a really good game and it's absolutely amazing. I'll go through some more good games quickly. Earn to Die, another trilogy which has addictive gameplay. Your objective is to upgrade your car and make it to the checkpoint with the limited amount of fuel you have. Kinda repetitive but still, pretty fun. They actually have a mobile game based on the same concept. Next, Dead Set, a first-person shooter where your objective is to survive with a group of people and manage them into building defenses, searching things in the city and fighting back against the zombies. They too have a mobile game now, but this one's still better. If you're into fights, try Saloon Brawl, a game where you can get into bar fights as the town sheriff. There are two games in this series, both are pretty fun. And finally, the Commando series. It's also quite fun. It's more like an arcade shoot 'em up. It's kinda difficult, but still mostly fun to play. There are just so many more to talk about and I can't really talk about each and every one of them. But I'll just show you some of my favorite games and you can just try them out yourself. So, I hope I helped you out in reliving your memories and also to find out about some great games as well. If you know about more great games, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Or use the hashtag #GreatGamesYouHaven'tPlayed on social media so that I could see what you think. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because I will be making more episodes in this series along with another series which I'm starting next week. So thanks a lot for watching. And if you'd be so kind to hit the like button, that'd be very awesome. Until next time then, happy gaming.